We are all little worlds of emotion, and every world has its seasons. Sadness is like winter, but it often feels like fall, and the fall feels long. Because very few of us reach that kind of really dark low of sadness, of suffering, of loss. Most of us feel like we're in fall, autumn. We feel like the leaves, and the veins in those leaves of our actions coming to nothing, coming to no fruit, coming to constant decay without completely severing ourselves from the tree of life. We feel stuck in this particular fall for quite a while. And then sometimes we feel like we are budding fruit. We are ever growing leaves without ever having grown. And those highs, those complete fruition of the fruit, or complete expanding in life of the leaves, never quite touches us. Being a human being is like poetry. And poetry is best when it's sad, or when it's not quite happy, but there's hope. And there's always hope in the darkness, but the darkness feels so long. And so the poem is beautiful because of its loss, because of its lack, because of its absence, because something is missing, and it feels like there's something missing from so many of our lives. So many of the people that we want to be never come to be. So many of the truths that we hold in our hearts, we can never quite say. It's a strange kind of existence. And it is strange to be so animalistic, to have all these passions, to be caught in the webs of these passions, yet to be accompanied by intellect, by the ability to perceive and understand things that are much dumber than the understanding, much less than the intellect. Yet because we have that ability, we suffer our intelligence. And the seasons, they seem to cast long shadows within our being. Shadows that we try to make sense of and have the ability to make sense of, but rarely do. We often feel isolated from the gods. We have God's seeds within us, but we are still bound to our lesser nature. And this lesser nature feels extremely consuming, because while we are an expression of nature and we have the seeds of gods within us, the bridge, the gap, the bridge seems long, and a lot of these gaps, the pits beneath, are so much worse than just what an animal may fall into. There are pits dug for those who can see them and who are falling. If you were to take every single moment that a human being experiences and link them together like a chain, to truly experience every moment, everything that we feel in every single moment, it would take a lifetime to truly analyze and consume and experience a single day of an individual. We feel so much and we know so little. We value our compassion, our heart, our ability to feel, yet we also suffer it. And there's so much. It's often like we are consumed in our own ineptitude, our own inability, our own struggle. And our struggle is so desperate because it feels so unnatural yet natural, because we have the logic, we have the ability to understand. Yet there's so much of it. There's so much that we feel. It's almost like we are in a storm and we're a little raft and we're barely trying to hold on to what life is and who we are. And our conception of who we are is often our sail. But the sail gets torn, it gets ripped, and it gets torn asunder time and time again. Control is the greatest illusion, and letting go is the scariest solution. But I think the answer is that we have to find a way to let go. To let go and to not hold on to what we want from this world or the conception of ourselves. We have to let go of these things if we are to survive. We must ride these waves with complete trust. And that trust is so difficult, but I think it is the only way. One way that we can help each other is to help each other let go. Perhaps holding on, adding to somebody else's desperation, is the worst thing that we can do. If we can let go together, help each other let go, then perhaps we won't be torn apart by this storm. And we may just survive, but it must be together. Find a way to seek without the demand or the expectation that we must find. This world is absurd. The only way we can constantly be on this edge is to understand that we will never find, and to accept that it's okay. We can't rely upon our sails, our ideas, our idea of ourself and what we want to be what will bring us to the shore. The oneness in which we are united is the absurdity of this existence. In that, we all have commonality, all have commonplace. We may be different, we may suffer our uniqueness, and it is not the absurdity of this existence which hurts us. It is resisting the realization that it is absurd. Let us let go together. Let us not be afraid together. Let us seek without the expectation to find together. This is the way.